Smart talk.
Bold laughs.
Real life, three wise women recording.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome back to Three Wise Women. We are here actually recording on a Monday night, and yeah, we're all somehow sick. Like we just passed this through a computer. What happened, guys?
The virtual virus came through.
The virtual virus.
Last week we were manifesting 40, now we're manifesting health
You
and
know, our
immune
bodies
systems.
our bodies just love to be in sync. It's not
That's
just
so
our
true.
menstrual cycles and illnesses too.
We're we're so synced in that way. Yeah, I'm getting over it, and then these two are in the thick of it. So we sound a little funky,
It took
I
but we're
everyone
sound
here.
horrible. Sorry about that, guys.
a lot of
If you see a Kleenex, don't judge me, okay?
just wiping off the snot.
Just swipe it.
I went to a
Yep.
yoga class yesterday and I was stretching and all of a sudden I saw like the snot come out of my nose onto my yoga mat. It was so
Marcy.
embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, but I really needed the stretch. Like it felt so good because like again, yoga classes, it's all about like holding postures for a long time and relaxation, restoration, and it puts you in this like yoga nidra like state of you're almost sleeping and your body goes into this weird psychosis almost of like you're dreaming but you're not dreaming. It's so wild to me. It's like therapeutic and I loved every second of it, but all of a sudden I don't know what we were doing, something, not downward dog, but there's just like snot coming down my nose. Yoga clothes. It's not like I can take my sleeve and go like this. It was embarrassing.
Ew,
No one was watching me. Everyone's like in their little yoga zones.
in their zone.
It
Yeah.
was totally fine. But
You're like, let me not stick my hand in that. We change
Yes.
postures.
It is that time of year, everyone. So take your vitamin C and D and whatever else you
All
have
of
to
it.
take. And I've been
Wash your
doing
hands.
tea. Yeah.
wash your hands, keep the hand sanitizer nearby. I actually have Lysol spray. This is not sponsored by
Oh,
Lysol, but it's on my desk.
I was thinking about getting
that
that out and like
stuff.
spraying my bed. I'm like, I need to.
No, I have. Oh, since I was young, my mom sprayed that on everything, and I have every time I smell it, I get like I just can't. It's one of those smells that just like, ooh.
Triggers you to
Yeah,
childhood.
version.
She brought it out the other day when she was here, and I was like, I swear to God, like if you spray that,
Don't
and,
traumatize little Liam with that.
He's gonna walk around.
and she's like bringing out the Clorox and stuff, and I'm like, my kid is standing right here.
She's like, you turned out fine, Lindsay.
I know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Kids need a little dirt. They just need a little bit of dirt.
I know. Yeah, I'm trying not to pass on, even though he cleans very well, I'm trying not to pass on the what's
OCD.
that? Thank you. Yes.
But his
Of
little
cleanliness.
Dyson is so cute because I didn't realize it actually worked. I was
Yes, it
like,
does.
wait, this is actually positive.
Wait, it's functional? It actually
It's
cleans?
Yeah, it's functional.
Positive for both
I need
you
to have
and
my
child.
nephew over to my house.
Yeah,
know.
two kids, not two kids, two birds with one stone.
We love functional toys.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Multi-purpose.
That's actually helpful.
I
Entertainment
know.
and cleaning.
Yes. So, we're gonna hope that next episode we're all vibrant and less snotty and don't sound hoarse.
Sounding better, and hopefully I'm not wearing the same sweater 2 weeks in a row, or this might just have to be my podcast sweater.
I might have worn this too. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
68 degrees in here. I
Maybe
need a
one day we'll be
sweatshirt.
able to get glam and someone will pay for it for us and we'll actually
Yes.
walk into a studio that has real
In daytime, in the daytime
in
hours.
daytime when our minds are fresh and on point and we're walking into a studio with chairs and mics and sound effects and a producer. Can we manifest that, please?
Yeah,
We are manifesting that.
I'll actually wear clothes and not a sweatshirt over my pajamas.
We come as we are, and
We
the show
are.
must go on, so we are
This is
here as
organic.
ourselves. Yep,
It's
this
very
Take
is
me as I
organic.
am or leave me for what I'm not, people.
Boom.
yes. And speaking of, it's not funny. I just laugh. I'm gonna laugh through half of this because that's how I deal
Nervous
with,
laughter is a
yeah, that's
thing.
that's just how I deal with life.
Trauma
But
response, aka we laugh when things are traumatic because it makes us feel better.
Yes.
yes, for sure. So I don't know if our regular listeners noticed that at like the beginning of the season we didn't do like an updates episode. We didn't, right? I didn't. Yeah, no, we
Oh,
didn't.
I think it was
Um,
very brief. Like,
very brief.
I don't think we did
And the reason
that.
it was brief is because there was some shit going on for some of us, and so we, kind of thought it wasn't the best time to kind of give updates. And when things are happening, it's sometimes good to like let things go through its process, and instead of just like what I would normally do and just blurt things out as they're happening. But we're coming close to the end of the season, so I'm going to give an update on kind of where things were. And if people are kind of like listening in between the reading in between the lines, they probably kind of get a sense. But um yeah, so sorry guys, I don't even know how to say this. So I was supposed to be celebrating 3 years of marriage in August, and instead, earlier in the year, um, I don't even know what to call him. My husband decided that he did not want to be together or live in this house, or whatever you want to say. He did not want to be a part of this anymore. Um, and so part of what we're talking about today is trauma responses and how do you deal with trauma. And it was going to be very hard to talk about this without talking around it. So, um, if you hear me make comments or make jokes about it, it's really not funny. It's just again how I deal with stuff. Like in past episodes, I've kind of made like, you know, remarks or,
Yeah, sarcasm,
yeah,
dry
sarcastic
humor.
remarks,
We're very
yeah, about
dry about stuff.
yeah, immature comments will come out every once in a while because that's just how I cope with this. And obviously, Marcy and Asha have known from the beginning, but last year was 2024 was my most challenging year, but most awesome year because I had Liam and I became a mom and was raising Liam. And then 2025 has been my worst year. And so 2 years back to back of my nervous system just being fucking shook, and could not have predicted this if you pay me. And I think you guys felt the same of like you didn't see this coming.
No, we were shocked. Very out of left field.
Yeah. Um
Very out of character,
and
I guess.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I'm not gonna talk. The point is not to like talk about all the details, and I won't because it's not
Right.
for everyone. And as you get farther out from certain events, then you become more comfortable kind of talking about certain topics because you want to relate to other people or share your experience, and maybe that will happen in future seasons. Or maybe it will spur the moment, just come out. Who the hell knows with me? But essentially, the reason I will talk about any of this is more because when we did this podcast, we kind of told each other there was going to be some element of vulnerability and talking about our lives. And we've all been respectful of things that we each have been going through in the sense of like when you're ready. And it's just really to help others because I don't know a lot of I mean, none of my friends have been in this situation, are in this situation. So trying to find people to relate to and kind of confide in, and who can offer guidance or something. I'm even taking prayers nowadays. So, um, but yeah, so the gist to me of kind of talking about this is not to make it messy or to seem, what's the word? Seem not immature, but
Like you're not playing the victim. You're not doing this for
right,
attention. You're doing this because we've been very vulnerable on this podcast and we like to share pieces of our journey. Obviously, we're not going to be 1,000% transparent on every single detail of our lives and what really goes on because we have professions and I guess not everyone deserves to hear like 1,000% of that story, but we still want
right,
to be transparent with our followers who are our good friends and even some family members that follow us that want to stay connected.
right,
So
Yeah. You're
right.
not being
Or
bitter
new,
either. You're
this is a
just
piece
thank
of the
you, bitter,
journey.
yes.
yeah. Just
Yeah,
sharing your experience. At the end of the day, like you said, it's not about hashing out all the details. It's like this is what happened, this is how I felt, this is how I'm trying to heal. These are the things I did well in the beginning. These are the things I wish I did different. It's all about just reflections.
right.
Self-reflection.
And so kind of to talk about how I've been dealing with this, I'll kind of give a somewhat of a timeline. But and I don't remember if I talked about this in the episode talking about like Liam and motherhood and stuff like this, but I had a really tough first year of being a mom. Like I struggled a ton. Like now being in the second year, I was much more suited to be toddler mom. Like this whole year has been like the best. Not that newborn stage wasn't good. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like it's not, wasn't bad or good. It's just like I was really struggling the first year in just like handling the transition and just my body and trying to figure out Liam and like how the fuck to do this. And we kind of were in the perfect storm, I guess I would call it, in the sense of how things lined up. He worked nights, and we don't have any family that live near us. And so that, and my counselor at the time told me this is like a really, I would not suggest this is not a recipe for success. And part of why we decided on that was from a financial price perspective. If you work night shift, you get paid more. Um, and then we thought from a babysitter perspective, we need less babysitters. Not the smoothest idea, and I think I really struggled with being home so much by myself, and taking care of a newborn by myself. And a lot of women do it, and I my hat's off to you, because it is one of the hardest things. And then going back to work on top of that, and then being home at night by myself was sometimes like, just I think I built up some resentment there. And I think over the year we both built up resentment in different ways. And part of what I eventually want to talk about more on an episode, and like I have other friends who have gone through this and can relate to it. And my mom went through it with my dad, but I really want to, and I don't say this to be like an asshole, just I really want to make a course or something for men to learn what women go through the first year after having a baby. Like, even like pregnancy, birth, and then postpartum.
This needs to be part of the parenting boot camps that they offer so
Ye-
that as much as those 9 months your body's preparing and you're feeling all of the baby's growth and the different trimesters, the men don't really feel that. They don't feel the growth, the trimesters, the symptoms. So they need to go through a 9 month boot camp of some sort
I'll
that
take 1 month.
mentally and physically prepares them for everything that a
Right.
woman goes through.
Right. And I feel like I felt prepared in the sense of like we had gone through counseling, we had had many conversations of how life was going to look different. I made it very clear that things many people have told us the first year after having a kid is you're in it. You're just you're just in it. And I was very prepared for that. And this, not, you can never be fully prepared because once you're in it, you're like, holy shit. But I was prepared for things to change. And I feel like sometimes you can sit there and be like, yeah, of course, yeah, of course. And then you're in it and you're like, oh, I didn't sign up for that. Like, this was not what I thought it was going to be. And that's how I kind of felt. Again, I'm only giving my side because I think there are two sides in terms of feelings. I think there are facts, and then there are two sides to feel each person's feelings. And Liam's first birthday came, and I started to feel so much more like myself after the first year. And so his birthday was in December. I had a me personally had a rocky mental health January. February came, started to feel better, and then no, it had to be the middle of February. When did he leave? No, it had to be in March. Yeah, in March, I think he told me that he did not love me anymore and that he was going to move out in like 2 or 3 weeks. And while I had known that we were having a hard time, that was, I mean, I forget. And in 2 or 3 weeks, that was just like
That still guts me, even when you say
it.
it. Like,
I mean, I remember sitting on the couch and like hearing that and just not even like being in my body. Because you can see certain things not being good, but I never like, I got married thinking like, you everyone knows there's seasons in marriage and there's going to be some really shit storms and then there's going to be, beautiful years and all this stuff. It's a roller coaster. And I always knew the first, like having a baby, there was a time when things were going to be a little not what they used to be. And even in that, we had great times. Like I have great pictures and memories from the first year of his life. And like, that's the thing. We didn't hate each other. I can, I didn't hate him. I didn't have, I think there was anger and resentment in some ways. And, that's the whole six Gottman's six, whatever things that we learned about of like what causes marriages to be in trouble. Um, but I think, and I'll talk another time about maybe what I've learned and from that. But I think hearing that like definitely was a shock, and I don't think I thought it was real at the time. A lot of professionals told him like you don't want to make this decision like this. You don't want to rush this. And at the time, I really thought it was because he wanted a break and just like wasn't happy with how things are going, and this was like a very abrupt like we need a break. Um, and so yeah, he moved out, and I think I'm sure I'm sure there are many people who go through, well, I know there are because I've connected with people online and on, social media, but the idea of one, your significant other moving out, and then the idea of like, what is this going to mean for my kid is just, it's like two things hitting you at once of like, oh, whoa, whoa, I just became a mom. Like, I did not sign up to not see my kid every day. Like I don't know what you're thinking, but I did not sign up for this. And yeah, so there are certain talking about in the trauma realm, there are certain things, conversations, or certain memories I have that will spark like a very intense emotion. Um and a lot of that too. So I traveled to on Wednesdays for work to Roanoke Rapids for cardiac rehab, and so I have like an hour and a half drive there and an hour and a half drive back. And so those days I have a lot of time to like talk to people or just like catch up. And that trip has become, there were so many moments that I relate to going there and being there, that I cried, that I had panic attacks, that I like there are so many instances. So even driving there sometimes, like I start to like feel that again. And because Ash and I were kind of on a similar schedule, we talked several times on those Wednesdays. And we I think I made a joke to you once, Asha, which is kind of fitting for this episode too. Like between the two of us, we our podcast could be sponsored by Kleenex. Like it really like this is sponsored for this. Because it was a hot, I mean, there it was like everyone whenever one of us would call, it would just be freaking tears every time. And um not to go into like too much recently, but when I did talk to him recently, and this is not me being dramatic, this is just the truth. I told him for the last 6 or 7 months, whatever it's been, I have cried practically every day since you've left. Like if there's been a day that I haven't, it's maybe 3 or 4, and it's probably because other people were around. Um, but there is not, and it's because it literally, you wake up and you're like, this is not my life. This can't be happening. And I don't know if anyone else who has been through something like this feels that way of like it's Groundhog's Day of like you wake up and you're like, no, 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 like this can't. Is this really happen? Like how? How did I end up here? And I think I mentioned that to you guys several times of like, how did I get here? Like, and I think that question, the how and the why, is something that still really bothers me. Um, because it wasn't my choice. And when someone makes a choice like that, it changes your whole world. Like someone making that choice, even if you don't want that to be the choice, like it affects everything. Um, and so it has been for sure, not to jinx it, not that I'm hoping. There are obviously things in life that could happen that would be much worse than this. So I'm not trying to be overly dramatic. And I'm very blessed to have a child, so I don't take that for granted. But I this has been the worst year of my life by far. Um, and these two women are, and my mother are a big reason why I've made it through. Um, because especially without my mother, I don't know where the heck I would be. Um, and I'm still processing. I mean, it's what was it? When do you leave? April? It's April to now. What month are we in? 6 months?
Still hasn't
Yeah,
been, I mean, for the amount.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Um,
shout out to Nana,
Shout out to Nana.
Anna for life.
She's been my rock, and like
a warrior, an angel
as
from
as
heaven
much
above.
as as much as sometimes like I have to be mindful of what I tell her, not in the sense that I can tell her anything. It's more of like, the reaction. Um, and like certain people can help in certain situations, or certain people can say things that they don't realize are gonna make it maybe a little tougher. And no one can know that when they're dealing with something like this. But part of what has been really helpful is doing this podcast again, because like sitting in this house, it's like really quiet a lot, especially at night. And it's been really lonely, um, which has been a tough thing. Damn it, I thought I was getting through this. Um,
Okay, let it out.
Fuck. See, Kleenex. um, and I don't like it's not that I can't be alone. It's just like even before living with him, like I live with Marcy. So I haven't lived by myself since in like what, 8 years?
It's like now you're used to having another body or someone to tell about your day or what you did, or, are you gonna go to
Yeah,
dinner? Okay, let's get dinner together, or things like that. It's like going back to, oh shit, now I have to like feed Liam and then eat by myself, and that just gets lonely. You can always
yeah.
FaceTime me for dinner. I eat by myself.
Oh, oh, I love that. And that's the thing. Like I know, I know my situation comparatively is like not, it's more of like when you're used to something and like when something changes quickly. I think that whole aspect, and like obviously he worked nights, so it's not like I always had someone here at night. It's just when it becomes permanent, you really sit here and you're like, wow, like you don't, even when you have like happy moments with Liam, like it's just me here in that way most of the time. Obviously, my mom's been here a lot of time too when she can get down here, but like when Liam does something cute, it's just like me, and that's why I videotape so much of his stuff. Because one, I'm scared I'm gonna forget, and so I need video, and two, like no one else is here to witness it, and I feel like there are so many special moments. But the thing that I'm very thankful for in this, well, a couple things. One, right now, which I'm only going to speak about right now, is I get to see my son every day. Um, and I feel like that's the way it should be. I am his primary caretaker. That doesn't mean I'm his only caretaker. That doesn't mean I'm the better caretaker. That means I am the primary caretaker. And I want it to be that way. And I'm also very thankful for, again, you guys and you listening to a lot of this. Like when you guys saw like pictures and videos from our retreat, and like Marcy and I ended up in bed crying about this situation together. Like, because not many people know that Marcy is, I think, the only, obviously, my only friend who was there when I met him. I think, yes. Yeah. Um, so she's seen it all from the very beginning. Um, and Asha I met shortly after, so she's practically been there for the beginning, except for a couple months, I think. So there's like a lot of history, and I don't think people realize when obviously it affects me, but it also affects the surrounding people. It greatly has affected my mother. Um, it affects my friends. You have trust in someone, you build relationships with someone, and then you see a completely different side of them. Um, and you guys can obviously speak to that. Not, I don't know if you want to give time to that or not, but um, yeah, everyone's entitled to their feelings in that
Yeah.
regard.
I think the only thing that I will kind of piggyback off of as far as the trauma is how, I don't know, I would say how gut-wrenching it is to walk with someone through an experience like this, but then like you said, also have to deal
Mm.
with your own grief and how you feel. Because I guess just me personally, it's like you guys are like my closest friends, and
Hmm.
obviously we've done different variations of life, singles and 20s, dating people, breaking up with people, getting engaged, getting married, having a kid. So when you walk through life, so many life stages with someone, and the relationship grows stronger, like events like this hurt so badly. Like, and I don't think I was prepared for how much it was gonna hurt. Obviously seeing my best friend hurt and then hurt myself, I think that was something that was really hard for me. Um, and not that it's about me, but it's like you hurt for yourself, but you also hurt for your friend, and you hurt for your friend's family and the child. So it's very kind of all encompassing to kind of reconcile that, to be like, okay, let me try to like put my feelings to the side and like be the support, but it also
Right.
hurts me to see you hurt. So it's like
Yeah.
it's really it's a blessing to walk through that with your friend, but it also, I mean, it hurts when you love somebody and you see them hurting like that. Like it is indescribable.
Yeah. And um, I don't know. I can't remember, so you can tell me, Asha. But there are a couple phone calls with my mom that I vividly remember, which I feel so bad that she answered the phone and I just started screaming, like scream crying. And I think I like me like she probably has some, some moments of like holy shit, but there were moments that I literally was just lost my mind. Um and so if I called you like that, I don't even remember. Because I can't remember if I think I called you, and I think you were working, and so I think I called my sister, and I just freaking started like
Yeah.
screaming on the phone, um, because there was and this is not, this is just as an example, not to throw any, because there was nothing done wrong necessarily. It was just when we're talking about trauma, there was a very specific event that happened that like my body feels, and um, I think no, not to say it doesn't happen to other people, but for mothers who ha have relatively new babies, especially that bond of like you're so close in the beginning, you don't like never leave. Um, and he was picking Liam up to take him somewhere, like out of the house, and Liam was crying. And when he cries a lot, he usually puts his arms out to me because that's just, not saying I'm the only one, but that's just how it is with mom. And he was crying. Something happened. He was crying, and he put his arms out for me. And I don't think he saw Liam doing that, or like his mindset around it was different. But he like walked down the stairs, and like I just see my kid with his arms out, like screaming, "Mom!" And like I'm standing at the sorry. And I'm standing at the top of the stairs, and he just like walks out the door, and I hear like my kids screaming "Mom" outside. And I literally like, so now because of that, and like he didn't his we talked about it, and like he felt like he had to get Liam out of the house because, you know, he felt like we were both having needed like just to cool down. So he thought that was what he was doing or whatever. But so whenever like whenever Liam's crying and someone like a babysitter, my mom, like picks him up and walks away, I instantly start crying. And I like feel it in my body every single time. And like I've scared my mom with that too, because like she was trying to help, and like she picked up, and I just like I was like, no, 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 no. Like I started like having a panic attack. And there are like certain things like that that have happened within all this, that like within trauma your body just remembers things, so it's crazy what your body remembers. And um that's the hardest part of this, is like I don't want to be angry forever, and I don't, it's a very long story, and there are things that, I'll never forgive, and there's things that I'll move past and whatever. But I think healing from trauma or getting past it, or however you want to say it, I don't know how long, but your body just holds on to shit, man. I mean, it's been, what has it been? Like 4 months since that, 5 or 4 months. And every time, like, I have to tell the babysitters, I had to tell them, like, do not, if he's crying, do not pick him up. Um, but it's just crazy. I think my point was with trauma. I don't know how long that takes to like be okay again, where that's not going to be. I mean, maybe when he's walking and I can't pick him up anymore, like walking on it, you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm frazzled
With
right
the grown man.
Yeah, like a grown man, I can't lift him up anymore. Um, but yeah, there's just been certain things that, like, certain instances that, and no one would know that. So that's the part that I have to be better about, is there are just things that no one would know that they're doing or they're saying that would cause those types of reactions. And I think maybe we all have instances in life where we've gone through something traumatic, and like there's something that brings you back, whether it's a sound or an image or a smell or a feel that like instantly brings you back. And no one else really knows. So like you have to learn how to cope with that. And part of what I'm doing in therapy is like learning how to walk myself through things in terms of like, especially when I'm having starting to have panic attacks and stuff like that. But yeah, that's
The body keeps score.
which I have not read that book.
I have the
So
book.
maybe that you do?
Mhm. I've
How
read.
was it?
I mean, it's interesting. I can
It's
send it
interesting.
to you.
Okay. I mean, me reading a book is like,
I know.
you
I was
know.
like, I don't.
I got an audio
I
version.
was like, you could probably get it on audio.
um, but the gist of it, I think, is part of what we all go through life is, tough times and this we've talked about this before, and I hate this saying only because I don't believe, that saying like he doesn't give you more than you can handle. And I'm like, I don't know who thought I could handle this, but I fucking can't handle this. Like, I
That's the
I
worst
can't.
saying ever. Like, it's so desensitive or so yeah, insensitive. Like, oh, so he gave me this? Why would he even give me this?
Well, I guess people in reference to like God makes you feel stronger or better that like God only gives you what you can handle, so like you can get through this. And like I get the sentiment. Um
I
and
don't.
there's going to be an episode that we do, which I'm sorry, and I know I'm going to be this person, but there are certain things you should not say to one, mothers or new mothers or pregnant people, and two, things you should not say to people when they're separated. Like, they're just some things you just should keep to yourself. And we're going to talk about that next
First off,
season,
you
probably,
should,
because
I feel like you should never say anything. Like if there you think someone's pregnant, don't even say it. Like unless they tell you. Like if you think they're pregnant, don't bring it up until they tell you. I hate
right, just
when
not a good idea.
guys, especially men, even worse when women, I don't know, bring it up and I'm like, you let the woman tell you whether she is pregnant or not.
Right. And the other part of that, the one thing, the advice that people gave me, which again, I'm not saying this is blanketed for everyone, this is my experience. Everyone told me, like, postpartum, you need to make time to be with your spouse. Like, you guys, your relationship is most important, and the kid, they need to have you have a strong relationship. And while I get that concept, it totally registered and the thought was there, but it's not as easy as that. At least it wasn't for me, in the sense of, one, we would have to pay a babysitter every time we wanted to go and do something because we don't have family close. Two, we were on opposite schedules, so there just wasn't a lot of quality time. And three, I did not want to be away from my child. And I know that people kept hounding me about, like, you need to go do something, you need to take a couple days. And it just didn't feel right. And why am I going to go be miserable somewhere else instead of, doing what feels best for me? And it took me, I think Liam was 9 or 10 months when we finally went out of town, and I felt horrible. I did not have a good time. I was not happy. And I know that sounds shitty, and people would be like, suck it up, like, but and maybe that was part of what contributed to part of the unhappiness. That's not why we're not currently together right now. The reasons that we were struggling are not the reasons we're not together. But yeah, I feel like that's something that even Dr. V was talking about that. I don't know who asked the question. I think Asha asked the question about like the parent connection when you have children, or like the marriage. Remind me, I don't remember what you asked, Asha, but she said
Yeah,
like,
in the beginning of her book, she had section where she talked about decentralizing children
right,
in a
that's what it was.
family. Yeah, and I was
Right.
like,
And
well,
I
that's a concept.
and I totally get that. And I think when the kid is older, I completely agree with that. That first year, especially if you're like breastfeeding or pumping, like, to me it was more stressful to leave because then I have to pump and like make sure I'm on a schedule pumping. And then you want to go enjoy it. It's not for everyone. And so I think to make women especially feel bad about you're not spending time or you're not doing this or like especially if you want me to plan it, not gonna have like as a partner and as people who are outside, just give some grace. Like, it's not as simple as saying that is all I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, looking back, I would obviously try to do things differently, but I don't know if I could have, realistically. So I don't know. There's a lot of things I would maybe do or say differently, but like I said, that is not the reason that I'm in the current situation I'm in. And that's all I'm gonna say right now about that. But um, yeah, it's been a shitty 2025 to say the least.
Let's digest that for a moment.
I know that was like I feel like people are gonna be like, she just fucking blurted that out of nowhere. But I think being honest and like saying it, and because I feel like when we talk about certain situations, like me making comments or me asking certain questions or me, making jokes or sly comments or whatever, you know, it may seem immature, but the other thing I'm very proud about is how I've acted through all of this. And these two women can attest to that. Because in my 20s, I I would not
You
be
ain't burn no
as
clothes.
You did not you did not carve your name into the seat of his car or
You did
slash
not
any
cheat.
tires. You
You
did
right. I'm
not.
like, because I had some thoughts that I will keep.
inside,
You're
yes.
very
I
contained.
and I the
Gracious is
reason
is the word.
because I don't know if it was you. I think it was you guys and my mom were like, "How?" I think it was you, Asha. We're like, "How? How?" And it's because that little boy. That little boy just brings me back to what's important and not letting me get out of my character. And I don't want to be that person. I mean, you can again have thoughts.
Like I said, let us carry the hate. We
Yeah.
have
And
we have room to carry it.
and I don't and to be in all fairness, I don't even know if there's a lot of feelings. I don't know if I would classify it as hate that I have just because part of the trauma response too is going from loving someone so intensely and having a kid with them to having to somehow switch that off. And that has been, and then seeing them almost every day standing in front of you. Like, that has been the hardest part of all of, well, besides stuff with Liam, that has been the second hardest part is like, you have to mourn the person
While they're still alive.
while they're standing in front of you. Because that is not the person I married. I don't, I don't know. Um, so that and still having to co-parent and have conversations and see each other while your heart has been smashed in a million pieces and you're devastated and yeah, it's one of the hard the while I've had people in my life pass away, I've never had a parent or a sibling, or anyone like in my immediate, obviously grandparents, I was obviously upset about, but this is the most grief I've felt in my entire life, for sure. And I'm knocking on wood because obviously there are things that could happen that would probably cause that, but I made the joke, I think, to one of my other friends. I would rather go through birth 15 more times than feel this. And that's not because birth is a piece of cake. I'm not downplaying birth. My birth, thankfully, was, 12 hours and nothing crazy compared to what other women go for through. So I'm not downplaying it on an individual experience. But it was 12 hours of pain, and I got the most amazing thing. This has been 6 or 7 months of pure whatever you would call this emotion, grief, crap, ugh. And it's so heavy to wake up every day and feel this. So I don't wish this on anyone. I'm so sorry if you've gone through this. Um, but that is the positive. As much as we downplay, or not downplay, as much as we are disappointed with the internet and social media, this is kind of where it's helpful in the way of building community. Like I've had other friends who have gone through traumatic experiences, and it's nice to have people empathize. Like you guys have been such a support, and I have other people who have been such a support. But to connect with people who have gone through something obviously not the exact same thing, but something similar, there is something to that. Um, and so like trying to communicate with people and build a community online is part of something I want to be part of and use our platform for, because we all each of us have individual stories and individual um ways we can maybe build community within our platform. So that's something that I would like to do. Not to bash and not to be negative, but
No,
to build community.
staying connected just makes us feel more human and less lonely and more of like asking people too. It's like, when does it end? When do you wake up and just feel good again? Because like the heaviness that you feel, I'm an empath. I can like feel it through the screen right now, and I just like feel so terrible for you. Like I want to cry as well, but
Mm.
what's that gonna do? And so I'm like,
Hmm.
what's it gonna look like for you to wake up and like feel good? Like when does that start happening? Right now you're in the thickest of thick of things. It's like the person that was supposed to be there for the rest of your life took a different life course and made different life choices, and you're still stuck in this. You're going to be connected to that person. I don't even want to ever say his name. You're going to be connected to that person for the rest of your life because
Forever.
you have a child. But like, when does Lindsay get to feel good again and feel better? And like, yeah, I know that you've had moments of joy with your mom and with us and with other friends and family and all of that. But it's like, you don't deserve this. No one deserves this. And I'm sorry that you're in
Hmm.
that. And I hope that someday soon you get the peace and the clarity and the heaviness goes away.
Hmm. And that's the part, like when other people, when you guys talk about it, my mom talks about it, and they talk about like their feel, like ooh, it gets me because it's unfair all around. And that's a great question. I would love to know, um, you know, when there are days that I'm not going to be, crying every night. And like I don't want to give more. There's this balance of not wanting to give, I don't even want to say power, like give someone more power over your feeling. I don't know how to say it. Like,
Or give him the headspace. Like he doesn't deserve the amount of headspace he's taking in, maybe. I don't know.
well, or like certain things, like I haven't been able to like sleep without the TV on, since he left, just because I don't, again, like sitting around here in my own thoughts and then like going to bed and laying there in my own thoughts just haven't been a healthy place for me. So I don't want to give him the power of like, me not having restful nights, or like, that's within my control, like in that way. But there is something to that in terms of talking to other people and see what their experience has been like in terms of, how do you co-parent with someone, and like get past the really intense feelings, um and not be miserable for like the next, I don't know, like year or however long this process. There's a lot unknown, and so I'm not gonna like even try to guess what the future holds or what next year is going to bring, because I notoriously have been way off. But there was, which I'm going to make a comparison video. I'm trying to look for it. Shoot, I don't know. Who's the actress in Pitch Perfect? One of the main characters. She was a redhead in Pitch Perfect. I want to say it's not Brittany Snow, is it?
Um, that sounds
It's
familiar.
gonna
I don't have my phone on me, but I think her name is Brittany.
Brittany, I'm trying to look. I saved the clip, and I can't
Yes,
find it
it's
right
Brittany
now.
Snow.
Thank you. Okay, Brittany Snow, and again, I
Plays the
always seem to
character
reference.
Chloe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I always seem to reference another podcast when but I that's part of why I reference all these podcast people because I've been listening to so many podcasts and just like so many just things because I just need to like have something going besides my brain at most times. But she was on the Call Her Daddy podcast like last year or something, and she's divorced. And so I didn't know that actually when I was listening to it. And there's this part of the interview, one part that's really funny that I want to get your guys' opinion on next time. But the part she was talking about was she called one of her co-stars and was like, "How do you do this? Like, how do you live in this feeling? Like, how do you go through this?" And I guess her co-star was like, "You just have to exist right now. That's all you have to do. You just have to sit there and exist." And eventually it starts to lessen and eventually it passes, and so that's what I've been trying to do is just exist for myself and for my son and go to work to get paid because financially is just a new reality. But so yeah, I'm just trying to exist right now, and there are moments of joy and I'm thankful for those moments. And I'm super thankful again for you guys in this podcast because having something to look forward to during the week where I'm not just sitting here by myself, and having discussions and having support, and like having, phone calls with Asha and then Marcy coming and helping with Liam and offering to come, has been such a blessing because either Asha just calling to check in or Marcy offering to come down. I'm probably the type of person who's not going to ask. But it's really helpful when people show up in those ways. Um, where you don't, it's not something else you have to think about. It's just someone's there in some capacity. And we're all going through our own shit. And sometimes it's really hard to show up for other people. But that's why I'm just so thankful for the people who have shown up.
What do you think you would say to someone who's going through this and like doesn't want to reach out to their people?
Oh, I mean, there was a minute, I think when I found out certain information, Asha was probably the first person I called because I needed to tell someone, because otherwise I would have locked it up and not told the soul and just buried it way down in there and acted like nothing happened. So I knew that I had to, because I know my feelings well enough to know that, like, I love this person so much. And so what caught me by surprise was like how much I loved him. In the sense of like, wow, like I loved you so much that I was willing to do X, Y, and Z after finding out X, Y, and Z. Like that's love right there. That's crazy. And so I knew to avoid slipping back into burying it and moving past it and pretending it didn't happen, I had to tell someone. Um, so I would say, depending on the situation, find someone that you know is not, which this is not a bad thing. I'm just going based off of what I needed. Find someone who's not going to just sit there and ask a bunch of questions and want to get into the story. Find the person who's going to kind of sit there and listen and just absorb the information because, I mean, you're just trying to make sense of it. So I think finding, if even if you don't want to reach out to someone, journal, which I know for years I've like really hated the whole journaling thing. I know. I really
You can't
hate
give
the
people
whole
advice you don't do yourself, Lindsay.
No,
Actually, start
no, I
journaling.
did the journaling.
Oh,
I
you
did.
did?
That's what I'm saying. Like I really
Oh,
got into journaling.
proud of
Which
you.
I know, but like I had to because you
It's
you can't
cathartic.
always,
It's
yeah, and you
very
can't
cathartic.
always call someone. I'm not gonna like trauma dump on everyone all the fucking time. Like I did it enough where it's just like it becomes exhausting for everyone else. So I had to put it somewhere. And so I think even if you don't want to reach out, the energy has to go somewhere. Because if you keep it inside, like, especially if you're a parent, you have to be able to still get up. And like, if I had kept everything to myself, I'm the type of person that I have to talk it out. I'm not a keep it in person because I will crumble. Um, so I would really recommend either journaling or finding someone who's not going to like just berate you with questions and just who's going to sit there and listen and just even though it's really uncomfortable to sit with someone who's just crying for like a long time, it's yeah,
Get it.
find an outlet for your feelings essentially is what I would say because
And I even think like not to compare this to someone else going through trauma that's different, but like I even think of women who are going through domestic violence. So many of them
hmm
back to the person who's causing the violence or go back to their abuser because they don't want to tell someone or because they think it's easier to just deal with it. And so many times they hold it in, and I don't know any statistics on it. This just made me think of it because I've had a friend who like went through domestic violence and like
and I
still.
just want to make it clear that was not the situation
No,
here. I
it's
just
not a
want to make that
situation at
and
all.
yes, yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
just like thinking about like so many times, like as women, we just want to stay in it because I think we're more prone to be selfless and empathic and willingness to forgive. And I don't see that, I don't know, as much reversed.
oh I would agree,
So I'm
yeah,
proud of you for like telling someone and journaling and getting it out.
yeah,
And sharing your
yeah,
story today because that's not easy either. It's fucking hard to get that out and to let people know and it's uncomfortable and you feel like then people act differently around you or whatever they're so I'm proud of you for
yeah,
out and just I hope that this is also in a way healing for you so that you can move forward too.
for sure. And I would also another recommendation, which this may be shady, but I don't care. If you have a question about my life, ask me. Do not ask my friends for the tea, please. That is, I don't understand that. Like, most of you who I'm talking about have my phone number or follow me on social media. Do not ask my friends.
I think they picked up on hints from what you were posting on social media, but then they're like, I don't know, are people just afraid to ask and reach out? I just think that like the nicest thing to do would be like, hey, Linz, like, how are you doing? Like, that's it.
Right.
That's
Because
it.
I'm pretty much an open, like, if you
Like,
ask me how I'm doing, I will actually tell you.
Bad.
So don't be the person,
like,
don't be the
how
person
are
who thinks
you?
you're just gonna get a good.
Like,
Like,
how
yeah.
are you goes a long way. Or like, can I bring you a cup of coffee? Like, can I just like do something nice? Like, it doesn't have to
hmm
be,
It's
you
been a
know,
while. You're on my mind.
right,
Yes.
$1 million. Like, I'm just, hey, I'm thinking of you today. Like,
Yeah. And if you're really
something.
that curious, those are ways to approach it because that's what several of my friends ended up doing when they kind of, which I will say, did you guys know that when you like, oh, I think Marcy knew this, when you like certain posts or reels on Instagram, everyone can see what you like? Did not know that, which is how half the people found out what was going on in my life because of the shit I was liking. But those people then reached out and were like, hey, can I bring you coffee? Like,
Are
how are
you
you do like
good?
you don't have to be you don't have to be like what happened like there are ways to approach it where you don't need to go to other people in my life like
This is
if
good
you're interested
advice because
enough just
some people don't
yes
know how to show up for
yes
people who are going through
Yeah,
something
right. That
traumatic.
are not like in their inner circle for sure.
yeah
Yes.
yeah it's just like for anyone going through and that's for any traumatic situation sometimes and everyone's different so maybe someone else would be like don't freaking talk to me but it's to hear kind things when someone's struggling is just always usually a great thing so you
Great
know.
attitude. Great for humanity.
Everyone loves a coffee or loves a check-in, so
Right.
you know.
Bring my girl a donut, okay? Don't talk
Oh,
behind her back.
A cronut, a glazed croissant, any sweet treat.
Chocolate.
Chocolate cake. There's a really good bakery in Greenville. I forget the name of it, but it has like the
Affection,
hostess.
connection.
Yeah, it has this like hostess
Devil's food
chocolate
cake.
cake.
Oh, the ho ho
yeah,
cake, whatever it's called. Yeah. Bring her some
yeah.
chocolate and just sit down.
Yeah, just
I appreciate
let
that.
her have that piece of cake and Make her day.
Yeah,
Buy her
yeah.
cake and tell her she's pretty. It's not complicated, people. It's really not.
That's the wise wisdom this
The
episode.
wise words. Buy her chocolate cake, tell her she's pretty. She's doing a great
Oh,
job.
oh my gosh. Well, I love you guys and I
We
appreciate
love
everyone who's
you.
listening. And if any, not that I'm hoping on this, but for some of our newer listeners, if because we know our obviously our close friends, but if any listeners out there going through something, feel free to reach out. Everyone goes through everyone's situation is different, but we all can use support now and again. So always feel free to reach out.
In a world of social media, Facebook, Instagram, it's important to stay connected to your people. So wise
Absolutely.
words,
Yes, community.
create your community, reach out to your people, and stay connected.
Yeah, that's the only way we're gonna
Yeah.
get through this life is
Mhm.
community.
Yep. And what was our phrase, Asha? Something 2025. Barely
Oh,
what was it?
well, I think we started off, we were gonna thrive in 2025.
We did
No,
some.
it's like trying to survive 2025.
Yeah, I think it was
Survive.
something. I forget what we were saying there for a while. We were like
Barely alive
barely, oh,
2025.
that's what it was. Barely alive 2025. That's not funny, but this is how we had to like get through some days.
We
We
went
were
from
we had such
thriving
high
to
hopes and then it
yeah,
just, bit the dust. So,
Existing.
yeah.
existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're
From
hoping
thriving to existing.
it can really only go well, I'm not even going to put that out there. I am we are heading for a new year and that's all we can all ask for and um I'm sure there'll be more topics stemming from this. So, I'm just thankful you guys are willing to go on this journey with me. So, cheers to the ladies getting through life with best friends because those truly are your soulmates.
Truly, truly,
Love you
truly.
guys.
Love
We'll
you.
see you next Monday. Will be our last episode of the
Yes,
season.
season finale coming up soon. We'll catch you guys
Yep.
then.
Week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.